Captain America star Anthony Mackie has a particular take on modern American masculinity that has everybody talking, all right? And, well, you know what? Since you're here, I'd like to talk about it too. So most of you know who Anthony Mackie is, all right? He just had a movie come out, Captain America Brave New World, and it did okay, I believe. Some people said there were some subliminal messages in there. I don't know. I'm going to go see it here myself soon. But in any case, I like Anthony Mackie as an actor, not just in the MCU, but there's other movies that he's been in that I think he's done very well in, all right? And he went on the Pivot podcast a few days ago, or yesterday rather, and he talked about various topics like, politics, his movie career and other things of that nature, his family in particular. And in this particular case, having to do with his family, speaking on his children and masculinity and how he raised his children in a particular model of masculinity that he has. And well, when we get done watching this, I want to go in the comments because a lot of people had positive and a lot of negative comments about his particular brand of, again, masculinity. Hey, so real quick, I had to cut in real quick in this video because I want to show y'all the clip. Remember back when he was on Wendy Williams' show and he was talking about how men opening doors and making him a sandwich and all that. I believe Anthony Mackie's kind of been on the masculinity tip for a while now. We just maybe didn't know it, yo. We're gonna play this clip right here and then we'll get back to the video.
I do believe that if he wants a sandwich,
you make daddy a sandwich.
Most of the time.
No. Let me ask you this. Well, okay, let me ask you this. If me and you out and somebody say something slick to you,
you punch him in the face.
You want me to smack him in his mouth, right?
That's right.
So if I take you on a date and I say, look, baby, we gonna go Dutch.
No.
Exactly. If we walking up to the car and I don't open your car door, what do you say?
Open the door.
You better believe it.
Yeah, no, I am with you. I think
so you make daddy a sandwich.
I think I will.
All right. So let's get into it. This is from the Pivot podcast. It's on YouTube. You see the link right there. I'll leave a link to this post from X in the description box. All right. But we're going to get into it, of course, because it is a YouTube centered video. I have to give my fair use clause. So before we continue this video, for everyone watching, fair use.
I keep my boys humble. Like, my boys have never had a pair of Jordans. My boys don't do all that internet fly shit. I'm like your kids. And no, I don't give a I could be the biggest star in the world. Do not let me catch you being stupid.
Now, I have to say that. Hey, don't let me catch you being stupid. There are a lot of children out there that are embarrassing their fathers right now, most notably, which I chronicled in my other channel, Marcus Jordan, which is embarrassing his dad, Michael Jordan. He got caught up recently with his car or his Porsche on the railroad tracks, and they said he had some narcotics in his vehicle when they searched him and all those kind of things. And he's been kind of going on a downward spiral lately after he got with Larsa Pippen and all of that. And there's other children that have embarrassed their parents, all right? 50 Cent's son. I mean, the list goes on and on, right? And even though, having a pair of Jordans doesn't make you, not humble, I see where he's getting at, right? He wants his children to have a good head on their shoulders and not to have a big head, pause, just because he himself is famous. So I get that.
Do not. And my oldest gets it. My 15-year-old, he tells the other ones, he's like, yo, don't make dad mad. Because once you get one that's right, he's going to straighten the other ones out. Mm-hmm.
And that is also understandable, right? I don't know how many sons that he has, but of course, just like at the workplace, just like in modern society, peer pressure oftentimes works. If you get one in line, the rest tend to do the same thing. They tend to follow, of course, and people don't like to use those terminologies or analogies, but that's exactly what happens, all right? So if he got his oldest falling in line with his morals and his, ways of thinking and doing, well, the rest of the boys that he is under his, leadership will probably do the same thing. Understandable. And again, they might think that's no patriarchy or whatever, but that's the real, all right? That's you raising your children in a certain way, guess what? They will all take on your traits if you have good ones. And if you have bad ones, well, they'll take those on too.
So it's just that thing of, in the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities.
Let him cook.
For one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men. And however you feel about that, you feel about that. Right. But my boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you.
Hey, look. Now, there are many reasons why the American male has been on a downward spiral lately in terms of morals and ways of doing and thinking, backbone and all those kind of things, right? I mean, there's a blame to go around, to include the men, right? So we can't absolve ourselves of accountability in this issue either. But when somebody like him comes out and says these things, he will probably get pushback. Now, again, this might be the pot calling the kettle black. This might be him talking out both sides of his mouth because of a few weeks ago, before the premiere of his new movie in the MCU, he was saying how he thought Captain America and the symbol of Captain America meant some stuff that was, not in line with what most people think Captain America and America in general is supposed to be. So he got dunked on for that. But I mean, a broken clock is right twice a day, right? So I agree with the overall premise of what this man is saying. Let me rewind a little bit because they get that American male, that deletion of the American male thing one more time.
They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities for one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men. And however you feel about that, you feel about that. Right. But my boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you. They will always open the door for a lady. They will always make sure that their mother is taken care and provided for. They will always be men.
Now, there are people that's going to say, well, this is just general respect and kindness toward, your fellow man or fellow individual. And him, saying, well, God's going to open doors for, women and, take care of your mother and yada, yada. I mean, how you feel about that is fine. What I believe he's saying is that, young men have lost a general respect, for one, for the elders, for two, for general people in society, and for three, they're not moving, level-headed. They're, crashing out all the time. You see all these videos where they're doing dumb stuff. They're taking penitentiary chances. Like, look, be respectful. Do what you're supposed to do. You can have fun in the parameters of, what's lawful, things of that nature. And don't be tied to social media, all those kind of things. I mean, again, these things will probably never come back because we're in a new era now. But the baseline of, I believe, masculinity is being lost by the day. Politics, lifestyles, culture, things of that nature. The baseline of masculinity is being degraded by the day. So I understand what he's trying to say. He's trying to be a bastion of masculinity in his household for his boys in a modern era where, a lot of men are funny style nowadays.
And that's always since they were 2 years old. Every time I left for a job, I tell my 15-year-old, you're the man of the house. You make sure these doors are locked every night. This alarm is on. You text me or you call me every night before you go to bed and you wake up.
I love that.
Because we're men. If I'm not there to protect, he got to be there to protect. Because you can have all the money in the world, climb through the window, that money means nothing. Right. You can have all the celebrity in the world, jump through the door, that celebrity means nothing. Yeah. So you got to have a little guard in there, And so for me, it's always that idea of American masculinity is very different.
Hold up.
And he goes on there. I watched a little a clip of this where it was a little more extended than this 1 minute 45 seconds. But he said that even in other countries, I think he specifically said Germany, that masculinity is different. And what he meant by that was it's not the same. It's not as strong. American masculinity has always been the pinnacle of how a man should be for the most part. All right. Hard work, dedication, grit, all those kind of things. A stand-up guy. America has usually been the spearhead of masculinity. In Germany, and I know this for a fact because I worked in Germany, men in Germany are not as, I would say they're more passive than they are aggressive. If you know what you understand what I'm trying to say, right? Sometimes they won't look you in the eye if you're looking right at them. They're not easy with conflict, and that's not a masculine trait either. But I'm just saying, if they're disrespected, they're oftentimes going to call police before they're actually like trying to get some straightening on their own. Just things of that nature. Okay, they tend to just have their blinders on and go, do their thing. They're not looking to help anybody or anything like that. But you go to a place like in the Middle East, these men, they're very much more traditional. In a place like Turkey and other places, they're way more traditional, way more conservative. They have more of a, what I'm looking for, more of a culture when it comes to masculinity. So again, depending on where you go, third world, first world, things like that, masculinity is very different depending on where you go. But in most other first world countries outside of America, masculinity is not as strong. And I get what he's trying to say. So, it is what it is. I mean, remember that one clip when he was on, I believe, Wendy Williams' show, and he was talking about opening doors and everything and making him a sandwich and all that? Yes, same thing, right? So, and I think I played that clip earlier before. So, yeah. Anyway, y'all get it. Anthony Mackie on Masculinity. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go to the comments real quick. Check this out, y'all. Look at this. Let me take the fair use off. Blink. All right, there we go. Captain America did so poorly at the box office. He's already shifted to the right wing. That was a dig. Okay. Ninja said masculinity just describe basic manners. Okay. This is why young black boys grow with so much pressure to uphold the antiquated views of what masculinity looks like. Yep. He probably be sitting down. Let's see here. Somehow empowering your son and teaching him responsibilities is a bad thing on this app. Yep. Because people are going in. Yep. The quotes are literally proving his point. LMF, ayo. Yes, they are. Absolutely. They want to hush and silence any man that isn't a puppet, which is why he said masculinity is under attack. Not go on and on and on. If you're a man and you're upset by his comments, go look at that. I agree. And if you go on and on, you'll see it, right? So Anthony Mackie, his take on masculinity, I agree with it myself. So y'all let me know what you think about it down in the comment section. And with that being said, thank you for attending another episode of the Working Man Podcast. I am your host, Nicholas J. Fury. Let me know what you think about Anthony Mackie's take on masculinity, whether you think this is just basic, manhood, basic manners, or whether you think he's onto something in the larger point. Let me know what you think about it down in the comment section. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell on your way out of the door, and I will see you on the next video.